I always knew I wanted kids, but this is kind of hard. Welcome to the Bare Maximum Project, helping you take your life and your family to the next level. Let's get started. If you're like me, you are a parent and you had no idea what you were getting into before your kids were born. Am I right?
Welcome to the party, pal!
I think we have over-romanticized expectations of what parenthood is actually like. But when that reality hits, it hits hard. There are so many decisions that you have to make when you become a parent. A lot of them you got to make in the blink of an eye, such as how you're going to raise them, who's going to be around the kids, what kind of influences you want around them, and the list goes on and on and on. So it's a lot of pressure that comes packed in with having kids. The funny thing is, a lot of these decisions have to be made before the kid is even born in the first place. So that makes it a little bit more nerve-wracking too. I wish that there was a way that you could really completely prepare for how exhausting parenthood can be. When my daughter was born, there were so many nights where I was just sitting there begging and pleading, God, please let this baby go to sleep. And God was just like, nah, fam, you on your own. So I had to just deal with it. We had to just deal with it. And it's really not easy, but you do get through it. That I always had to remind myself of during that time was that it's only a season, it will pass, and eventually this baby will go to sleep. That's where you are right now. Hang in there. Trust me, it's going to get better. I promise you, eventually you will get some sleep back.
One eternity later.
Also, I wish I'd known just how much of a financial investment it is to have kids too. Yeah, you hear about it, but having that experience is a whole nother animal. With that financial sacrifice, you have to really think about the kind of jobs that you accept. You can't just sit at home hoping to make that $1 million job. When in reality, you got to just pay them bills and make that thing work.
Look, man, could you just give me my damn burger, all right? Hey.
Think about the types of jobs that you can take, the types of places that you can live in, even down to what kind of food you're going to eat. You know, from a mother's perspective, is if you're nursing. So that's a lot. It takes me to my next point, which is going to be the level of sacrifice that you commit when you're a parent. When you're a parent, the sacrifices never end. Every decision that you make is not about you. It's about everybody else that it affects. It really helps me during those times is just remembering how much love I have for these little individuals. Those sacrifices, boy, they hurt.
You know how much I sacrifice?
But nothing hurts worse than your kids not having what they need, but having those basic necessities taken care of. There's a sense of satisfaction that comes along with knowing that you provided that. And not doing that, speaking from experience, it hurts even worse than that sacrifice. So those sacrifices are worth it in the end, knowing that you've taken care of those kids, because at the end of the day, it's on you, player. Also, having kids changes your relationship dynamics immensely.
That's two things in this house that won't work.
And nothing can really prepare you for that, because it's just something that just kind of happens before you know it. That first little while when you're dog tired, when both of you guys are exhausted, you start to catch yourself keeping score of who gets to be more tired. And I talk about this in one of my other videos, and I'll put the link in there for you to get to it. But keeping score in these situations is dangerous. One thing you got to be mindful of in terms of your relationship whenever you're bringing kids into the fold is that you're both tired. It sucks. Being tired affects everything you do, your mood, how you operate, everything. So just remember, whenever that person is snapping at you, they're exhausted. They were just up all night. You were at work all day, or however you guys work it out. So just try to be gracious toward one another. A lot of raising kids is just simply rolling with those punches, because things are going to come up that you didn't foresee happening, and you're not going to know what to do. And that's all right. An example of this would be the COVID-19 epidemic and trying to raise kids through that. It's not easy. I spoke about that in one of my previous videos, so I'll be sure to check that out. But parenting now in the age of COVID, it throws a whole new dynamic into how you're going to raise your kids, because you're trying to keep them safe from an enemy that you can't see. So there's different things like that that are going to come up throughout the course of raising kids that Again, you can't prepare for. There's no manual for it. It's just one of those things you got to roll with and adjust and just grit your teeth and go through. What a lot of people I think are afraid to say is that there are days where they can't stand their kids.
Like you? Who the hell said I got to like you?
And I have days like that all the time, every Wednesday as a matter of fact. And you know what? That's okay. There's nothing for you to feel guilty about because you are allowed to be human. Allow yourself to feel those things because when you let those feelings bottle up, that's how stuff goes way left. We don't want that. I mean, think about it. Do you like everybody that's in your life all the time?
Hell no!
So that should extend to the kids as well because they're other human beings and they don't always like us. So if you're having those days, one of those days where it's like, man, I really am not feeling being your parent right now, allow yourself to feel that. It's all right. If you try to dismiss it and pretend it isn't there, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna come out in other areas. So allow yourself the grace to be frustrated and to not like them jokers sometimes because we don't. All that said, even with all the exhaustion and the financial sacrifices, the career sacrifices, the relational sacrifices, and everything else that comes with it, parenthood is the most beautiful thing that I've ever experienced in my life. The love that you feel for this human being, the level of I would do anything for you that you feel as time goes on, it makes it all worth it. It really does. I wish I was lying, but I'm not. I'm telling you the truth. It's 100 on this. The love you feel makes it all worth it. I would love to get your thoughts and opinions on this. What do you guys think about how you're managing your expectations for what parenthood is really like versus the reality? What are some things you expected that haven't gone the way that you thought that they would, or what's happened exactly the way that you thought that it would? So let me know down below. I would love to get your feedback on that. So, and also if you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, I will see you guys next week. Take care.